Our next guest expects tech earnings to surprise to the upside, thanks to cost cuts and a weakened dollar. Joining us now is EMJ Capital founder and president Eric Jackson. So, Eric, what were the read-throughs for you from what we've gotten so far?
Well, I think Mike was talking about how tech has performed versus the rest of the market. You could really draw a distinction, though, especially coming out of the reports last night, between how big tech is performing versus the rest of tech even. There's stark differences. Remember, we got out of, start of the year, the first 5 weeks of the year, where profitless tech was sort of leading the way, shot out of a cannon. A lot of those names have really given back all those gains and more. And now big tech, the biggest names like Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Apple, and Meta combined are up 34% year to date versus the NASDAQ, which is just under 14%. So the reports last night showed that there's a good reason for that. It's not just a flight to safety, although that's part of it. Just operationally, they're doing really well. And there were some glimpses last night into earnings and revenue acceleration going into the second half of this year, rather than sort of a Mike Wilson, everything's going to come apart at the seams narrative.
Eric, I think of you as more of a everything else in tech kind of investor, not usually big tech. Your calls are usually the ones, I don't know, 23andMe, Upwork. You've had Zillow over the years, the sort of more volatile, less safe haven type big tech that we're talking about that's really working right now. Is that true still?
Yeah, my call at the beginning of the year was that the profitless tech rally was sort of start of a wider tech in general rally because of the drop in inflation that could last for the majority of the year. The Russell's now negative on the year, and so a lot of the small to mid cap names, which I do like, Sarah, have really kind of fallen back. It really did accelerate with the Silicon Valley Bank debacle, and that sort of has led to a lot of rotation out of those small to mid-sized names. There's good news to be found for sure in the big tech names, and I think there's more to come, later with Meta and Amazon this week. And I still think that there is going to be a broadening out of this rally that is going to see kind of some resilience in some of these smaller tech names. But to date, it's been big tech all the way this year.